Hey guys, Beau here, and welcome to the Beau Show. And today we're going to be doing something of a little bit of a versus challenge. And this is something that I actually wanted to do a little bit while back at Toy Fair, but now that I have a little bit more time of looking at the figures, both the photos and the way they look compared, I am actually ready to do this. Today we will be doing the versus of Masterpiece Ultra Magnus and Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus to see which is the better Ultra Magnus to pick up for your collection. So let's start off with the Masterpiece. Let's just talk about what people are talking about. When the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus came out, everybody, and I mean everybody, was like gone bananas when this thing came out. It was a very cool figure. Some things were, I heard that a few things were a little bit weird, but it was still essentially a great figure. And it was a straight up G1. And let me tell you this. When the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus was in development, there actually was another rival against Masterpiece Ultra Magnus before the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus came out, and that was a third-party product. That was KFC Citizen Stack, and he was also a very good-looking Transformer, and he looked really great for an Ultra Magnus figure. And a lot of people were actually debating which one to get, and a lot of people after then chose the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, mainly because the KFC one is rather large. It's a little bit bigger than the Masterpiece version, and MP10 for that matter, which is fine because Ultra Magnus is always the big person, and he shouldn't be that big. That's the issue that a lot of people had. Needless to say, it was Masterpiece Ultra Magnus all the way. Then Toy Fair came around, and a lot of people were, speculating that we were going to get a straight up G1 version of Ultra Magnus for the Combiner Wars series. And a lot of people like myself were excited because I am a huge Ultra Magnus fan. It's one of my favorite Autobots of all time. My favorite Autobot is being Hot Rod. I just love Hot Rod. But Ultra Magnus is the second, and he is a great character. And I've absolutely loved his toys. I love the G1. I love the Fall Cybertron version. I love the Prime Beast Hunters and Prime Power Risers. They were all good. When I heard that it was coming out, I was extremely excited. And when the photo came out, I was completely bananas. If you guys want to see my reaction to the photo, go check out my Toy Fair video. I made a Toy Fair video dedicated for the Combiner Wars and the Robots in Disguise set they revealed. So if you guys want to see my reaction to the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, check out my Toy Fair video. So a lot of people, when they saw the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, were pretty surprised because it is not a G1 version. It is actually the IDW version, which a lot of people love and been waiting to see come into this era of a toy. And a lot of people like myself were actually anticipating this, because with Transformer toys recently, they've been all developing the IDW route for the Transformers. Every single Transformer recently has had a IDW feel to them, and G1, and that's the same thing that we got here. So a lot of people here want to know which is the better buy, Masterpiece Ultra Magnus or the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. And I'm here to tell you right now. So let's start off with the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. Masterpiece Ultra Magnus is a straight up G1. It looks great. It is very cartoon accurate, very bulky in design, and very strong looking. It looks G1, it looks like it stepped right out of the cartoon, and it looks very clean. And it doesn't look like it has a lot of kibble on it. It looks very poseable, is way taller than the MP10, and is a very good size. Its vehicle mode is straight up G1, and it can carry other Masterpiece figures, which is also a very good thing to do for Masterpiece figures these days. And as an homage to the original G1 toy. So a lot of people thought that that was a very, very cool thing to bring in for the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, and it was something that Masterpiece line needed. However, let's talk about the Combiner Wars version. The Combiner Wars version in robot mode is, is pretty stunning. It is very, 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 very strong. It has a very, very organic look to it, kind of like what another fellow YouTuber said on with the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. It's very, very organic, and it just feels like a robot. I'm not saying that the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus looks like a robot. It does look like a robot, but this one feels like a muscle robot. It's very, very, very detailed. Has a lot of nice paint applications to it. And has 4 missile launchers, taller shoulders, G1 head, and 2 guns. Looks very, very impressive in the robot mode. And in vehicle mode, it just looks stunning. It looks very, very stunning, and it looks like it can also do the same thing as the G1 toy did, and that is you can carry other generations figures in there, possibly Voyager classes or Deluxe class or Legends, whatever you want. So that, as you can see, both of them have equal amounts of the goodness in them. I will have to say, between these two, honestly, and I think a lot of people are going to be ticked off when I say this, if I had to choose one of them, it has to go to the Combiner Wars version. I mean, the reason I love the version of the Combiner Wars... Oh, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. The reason I love Combiner Wars is they're doing straight up IDW and G1. It's just very, very clean designs. The combined modes do not interfere with anything. They actually work. Their leg movements actually work better than the Fall Cybertronic combiners. Very, very nicely designed, and they're not blocky. They work. This is what's perfect about this one. It's just a straight up G1 with IDW style. Very, very clean in design. Robot mode is very, very formidable, and the vehicle mode is just perfect. It's just perfect. The cab mode is a little bit questionable because it's not straight up G1, because it's not that that flat cab, but it's still a great looking car mode or truck mode, sorry, and robot mode. So that's something that I love about this version. It's just great. It's just perfect. Masterpiece version, it's, I honestly, when I say this, and I say it for every single one, Masterpiece figures are just Masterpiece figures. You can't really screw up a Masterpiece figure. Masterpiece exhaust. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of Masterpiece figures that have failed. Rodimus Prime and Megatron. Yeah, you can't really screw up a Masterpiece figure. If you make a Masterpiece figure, you do just that. And like the new Masterpiece tracks they're coming out with, it looks straight up G1. You cannot tell me that doesn't look like a tracks. It's just that, you can't really screw it up. There's no way you can possibly screw up a Masterpiece figure. It's, at this point, impossible. That's why I'm giving it to the Combiner Wars version, because it's Hasbro who made this. Takara makes the Masterpiece figures. Hasbro made this figure. And it's very, very clean design. And I'm happy to see that Hasbro's actually giving us something and actually showing us that they actually care about their fans. And they actually, want to show the fans that we can actually make a figure, more of a G1 than the Masterpiece version. And that's what they did. And that's why I say that if you're to only pick one of them, pick up the Combiner Wars version. If you like Masterpiece figures, get the Masterpiece version. That's all I'm going to say. So that's it for this Beau show. I just want to give you my opinions about both the figures and which one I'm going to buy. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like this video, leave a comment, share, and please subscribe for the... Wait for it. Beau.